This is Africa Today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Nahara Kajura, but first on the headlines. The Democratic Party embarks on uniting members. And Palma returnees accuse Mozambican security forces of abuse. And in our sports today, Uganda Cranes kick off preparations for grueling FIFA World Cup 2022 dream. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. This is Africa Today, and we start with one of our top stories. Now, opposition Democratic Party has promised to embark on dissolving disunity among its party members in order to improve on their performance in the coming elections. We have more on this report.
Speaking to the media at their party headquarters in Kampala, the party spokesperson Okolelo Opiola Amanu said DP did not participate well in the 2021 and 2016 general elections, which was as a result of disunity among party members, hence promising to deal with district challenges to end disunity in the party in order to perform better in the next elections.
We learned that the cause of this performance, not appealing as it is, was one, because of the disunity that the party was suffering then. We have tried to work on that disunity, and we are progressing well. We hope to perform better in the next elections.
Okolel also revealed to the media that the party has now embarked on training its members in leadership skills to prepare them fully participate in the future general elections.
We are going to deal with the district challenges in leadership, and then we shall also undertake to train our members to understand their roles and equip them with the vital skills to enable them to contribute optimally to encourage all to participate in the electoral process.
The Democratic Party currently has 9 elected members of parliament. The country's oldest party faced a setback following the formation of the National Unity Platform Party just months to the election, where 10 out of 15 of its members of parliament crossed to NUP, as well as councillors and district chairpersons. Nalgo Muyingo, Africa Today.
Thank you so much, our reporter. Moving on in our stories, the Supreme Court in Kampala has reinstated the 20-year jail sentences handed to 2 men by the Anti-Corruption Court for hacking into tax body URA system to defraud 2.4 billion shillings. Take a look at the story.
In 2012, Nsubuga Augusta and Byamukama Robin Hood were arrested by URA after internal investigation indicated that their online platform had been hacked into to access the tax body's automated system for customs data, a computerized customs management system that covers most foreign trade procedures. The group ensured that more than 150 cars had got number plates, but none had paid taxes in the banks, whereas the bank receipts that URA had based on to clear the vehicles were also forged by the group. However, the group appealed against the conviction at the Court of Appeal, and the court ordered for their retrial after it was found out that they had been tried without pleading to the amended indictment and consequently occasioned a miscarriage of justice. However, dissatisfied with the Court of Appeal judgment, tax body URA ran to the Supreme Court to challenge the decision. On Monday, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of URA as it reinstated the 20-year jail sentences for each of the 2 men after reasoning with the tax body that the guidelines for plea taking had not been breached and that therefore there was no miscarriage of justice. The Supreme Court also reinstated the 20 years jail terms for each of the 2 men. Patience Lubangumia, Commissioner Legal at URA, George Okello, Assistant Commissioner Litigation, and Hilda Bakanesa, Manager Litigation, represented the state, whereas Evans Ocheng represented the convicts during the case at Supreme Court.
Thank you so much, our reporter. Let's go for a quick break. We shall come back with the international news. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching TV Africa, the right to know. In our international news today, Kenyans receiving COVID-19 vaccines on Sunday expressed concerns over the country's dependency on donations of doses. Now, the East African community has administered nearly 2 million COVID-19 vaccine doses, but all of them have been donations from multilateral agencies and richer countries. Now, the country has not been able to buy its own vaccines. We have more on this report.
Kenyan officials have said that they have not been able to secure vaccine supplies because richer countries snapped up all available doses. The UK recently sent a donation of AstraZeneca vaccines to help with Kenya's inoculation drive, which has been distributed through various pop-up vaccination sites across the country. But residents feel that the Kenyan government needs to step up and start manufacturing vaccines within the country to avoid being reliant on outside help. Kenya has seen over 4,000 deaths related to COVID-19, while just under 2% of the population have been fully vaccinated, according to Johns Hopkins University data. Africa has administered the least doses of all continents despite its big population. Activists have accused wealthy Western countries of vaccine apartheid and seeking to prolong aid dependency.
Moving on in our international news, firefighters in northern Morocco are battling to put out 2 forest blazes, according to a forestry official statement on Sunday, as the North African kingdom swelters in heat wave. We have more on this report.
Rachid El Anth, director of the Water and Forestry Department in the Chefchaouen region, said that non-stop efforts are underway to control the fires, which broke out on Saturday afternoon. He said firefighting planes were being used to tackle the conflagrations, which had already destroyed some 200 hectares of forest. Several parts of the North African kingdom have seen temperatures of up to 49 degrees Celsius, according to weather authorities. He said the cause of the fires was not known, but that they had been spurred by high temperatures and strong winds, which are expected to last into Monday. Morocco joins the several other Mediterranean countries that have seen forest fires in recent weeks, including neighboring Algeria, where at least 90 people were killed in wildfires last week.
Moving on, Hakainde Hichilema, Zambia's veteran opposition politician and a business tycoon, tried 6 times for the country's presidency before finally landing the top job on Monday. With more than 2.8 billion votes, he secured a landslide against his longtime rival, President Edgar Lungu, who garnered just over 1.8 million of the ballots cast on August 12th. We have more.
Hichilema, who has described himself as just an ordinary cattle boy, has contested and lost every election held in the southern African country since 2016, although he has been bowed each time by an increased share of the vote. In 2016, he unsuccessfully challenged the result of the presidential election, which he said was stolen from him after he narrowly lost by 10,000 votes. This time round, the 59-year-old opposition leader latched on to widespread dissatisfaction with Lungu's running of the economy, campaigning under the slogan "Faka Pressure," meaning put pressure for change. Hichilema is no stranger to controversy in the copper-rich nation, having run afoul of authorities numerous times. He regularly mentions that he has been arrested 15 times since getting into politics. Most recently, after the 2016 elections, he faced treason charges for allegedly failing to give way to the presidential motorcade. He spent 4 months in a maximum security jail before the charges were dropped. As President, Hichilema will inherit a troubled economy after years of Lungu's infrastructure spending spree in a country where more than half the population lived below the poverty line before the pandemic.
Moving on, following a successful military campaign between Mozambican and Rwandan government forces in seizing strategic towns from militants in northeastern Mozambique, residents have begun returning to their homes as a sense of calm has been restored. Now, some, however, have expressed mistrust in the Mozambican police. We have more.
On Sunday, both Rwandan and Mozambican officers met with residents of the Cabo Delgado province to assure them of a safe return. Justin Rukara, Senior Superintendent for Rwandan Police, said that they want to show their presence, adding that the population is coming back, though they are still very scared and they are not feeling safe. In March 2021, jihadist militants staged an attack in Mozambique's northern town of Palma, causing residents to flee into a dense tropical forest surrounding the town. A few hundred foreign workers, mostly from South Africa, Britain, and France, had to seek shelter at the Hotel Amaruda. On the 19th of March 2021, a group of them attempted to escape the area in 17 vehicles by driving in a convoy to the beach with hopes of being rescued. In their 4-year insurgency, the extremist rebels, loosely allied to the Islamic State group, extended their influence over a large area and created a humanitarian emergency in Cabo Delgado province.
Thank you so much, Harry Potter. Now let's go for a quick break. We shall come back with the business news. In a business news today, Japan's Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi on Monday met with the Egyptian counterparts, discussed ways of strengthening bilateral relations, as well as exchanging visions on the most prominent regional issues of common concern, according to a statement by the Egyptian Foreign Minister. We have more.
In a joint press conference with Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry, Japan's Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi said that they shared their concern about the current situation in Afghanistan and agreed to cooperate with Egypt, which has an influence on the Islamic world, so that the issue does not become a factor of further turmoil. The two countries during the meeting agreed on the need to reach political solutions to the crisis in the region. They affirmed the need for continuing consultation and coordination between the two sides in the different international forums, especially in terms of the joint efforts to prepare for the upcoming Tokyo International Conference on African Development, set to be held in Tunisia next year. The Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, in an earlier meeting, asked that his greetings be conveyed to Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. Sisi also congratulated the Japanese people for successfully hosting the latest Olympics in Tokyo.
Away from business, in our health news today, health workers in Nigeria on Monday started to vaccinate people with Moderna COVID-19 as the country aims to protect its population amid a surge of infections. Now, Nigeria, with more than 210 million people earlier this month, received 4 million Moderna doses donated by the US. We have more on this report.
Africa's most populous nation has been able to vaccinate only about 1.23% of its population, according to Africa CDC, as it continues to see a spike in infection rates driven by the highly infectious Delta variant. According to Saad Ahmed, virologist, Moderna helps to prevent infections, but even if one gets infected, then the impact of that infection is likely to be much less than somebody who has not been vaccinated at all. Chikwe Ihekwezu, Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, said that much efforts have been put in place to have the population vaccinated. According to Nigerian officials, treatment centers are filling up again. Health workers are working through the nights every day, making sure they save Nigerians. Authorities expect a further delivery of more than 29 million Johnson & Johnson doses purchased by the government through the African Union.
Today's sports, Uganda Cranes started their preparations for the FIFA World Cup 2022 qualifiers with a double training session at Kabira Country Club, Bukoto in Kampala on Monday. Now 20 of the 30 summoned players turned up. The morning 2-hour session dominated by physical drills, lots of stretches and some ball work. We have more on this report.
3/3 of the local summoned players turned up for the session conducted by head coach Miltin Michos-Rejovic, French physical fitness coach Frank Plain, and Fred Kajobachi to the goalkeeping coach. For obvious reasons, the KCC and Express players did not show up since they were only reporting to the country from the Sekafa Kagame Cup in Dar es Salaam city. Vipers captain Halid Lualila acknowledged that the long break has affected them as players, but they will strive to play catch-up. Defender Hassan Mohamud of Police Football Club hinted of a quick adaptability to the demands and expectations of the coaches. Later on Monday evening, the team conducted another 2-hour session at the MTN Omondi Stadium, Lugogo. Unlike the opening sessions, the evening session was accompanied by lots of ball work and a game situation to fully awaken the players' bodies. Uganda Cranes is preparing for the FIFA World Cup 2020 Group E contest against Kenya on 2nd September 2021 in Nairobi City.
Thank you so much, our reporter. We wish Uganda Cranes well as they are preparing. Now, before we end the bulletin, let's have a recap of our top stories. The Democratic Party embarks on uniting members. And Palma returnees accuse Mozambican security forces of abuse. And in our sports today, Uganda Cranes kick off preparations for grueling FIFA World Cup 2022 dream. Thank you so much for being a loyal audience. For more we started from, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which will keep updating you. It is TV Africa, the right to know.